Chemical seeds from Syria are now in Jefferson County. Tankers arrived at the port of Port Arthur today, and canisters were trucked to Veolia's plant. The company says these are standard commercial industrial chemicals, which had been intended for use in Syria's chemical weapons program. Veolia won a bid earlier this year to destroy the chemicals at its industrial incinerator. The company says it safely destroyed similar chemicals in the past and say the chemicals pose no threat to the public. New jobs in rail cars filled with crude oil could be on the way to Port Arthur.
Two companies announced a planned project that would take advantage of the demand for Canadian crude oil. Fox 4's Lauren Huet reports Southeast Texans looking for work hope it goes through.
Joshua Peltier is searching for work at Workforce Solutions in Port Arthur.
Yes, I'm a tankerman out on the water. I tank barges, which I can also tank rail cars. It's all the same thing.
Peltier hopes a planned project brings Canadian crude oil down these tracks to a new train terminal in Port Arthur.
Crude oil has been traveling to Port Arthur by rail for some time now. The new fracking and the release of all the extra oil has brought that into us by rail car as well as ship.
The petrochemical company Global Partners and Kansas City Southern Railroad want to partner to bring Canadian crude oil to Port Arthur.
The Global Partners have introduced the idea of a unit train concept for an export terminal that would be located south of the Port of Port Arthur on KCS property.
Global Partners says there's a strong demand for Canadian crude oil. Port Arthur wants to benefit from that demand.
And while the Keystone XL is on everyone's mind, most people don't realize that the Keystone, even if it reaches here, will not provide the full capacity that our refineries need. And so rail will be a big part, ships will still be a big part of all refining here.
The project isn't a done deal. It still needs permits. Joshua Peltier is ready if it goes through.
I think it'll be great. I wouldn't have to go to Houston and Galveston and all these other places for work.
Welcome. Welcome, Global. Come on in. Let's talk.
An invitation that could create jobs at the end of the line. In Port Arthur, Lauren Huet, Fox 4 News.
Williamson says depending on the size of the terminal, it could bring hundreds of construction jobs.